Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and I'm gonna try to make a few videos of these G-Shocks that I have. And I just posted another video on the GWG 1000 that I have as far as the functions and my experience with the watch. And I'm gonna show you this new one that I have, the GWG 2000, which is the latest model. And here we go. The actual watch came in this box. Pretty normal box, nothing fancy. Just some. I got the box out, obviously. So this is how the box goes. The papers and all of this was here on the top, and the box is also pretty simple, nothing crazy. Just normal metal box with the foam pads inside and the plastic that covers the watch, so you can put it inside. And the watch itself, I think this is like a stand that they include, so it can be put, I guess, in a store when you try to sell it. These are the main points of the watch. But of course, it's Mudmaster, as you know already. So mud resistant, shock resistant, G-Shock series, 200 meters, water resistant compass, sapphire crystal, and these are actually some of the functions. The watch itself, compared with the GWG 1000, is a little bit thinner. we I did the comparison, and you can see it in my other videos. And I believe one disadvantage would be that the bezel on the GWG 1000 is a little bit deeper here, so it allows for accidental hits. It allows more for accidental hits where you're not going to damage anything around the bezel. Where with this watch, it kind of seems like it dives in a little bit, like right here, but at the same time you can actually see the glass is pretty it's almost all the way to the top, and you can actually see how the glass is cut right here. Yeah, I just realized that, which means that the glass is actually, higher than what I thought originally. Nevertheless, the watch is just very, very nice. I'm not sure if there are any improvements compared with the other one. I have seen some of the details on the watches, but as far as the actual watch, the design is different, obviously. One difference that I saw, definite difference, is the way the buttons were designed. Then you have these the three cutouts, and the buttons have like a completely different design from the 1000, and they seem to be much softer when they work. I had a problem with the GWG 1000, that after like a couple of years, my buttons started to stick, and I had to actually try to fix the watch. I fixed it at the end, but it's just, for normal people, that wouldn't be a venue that I would advise. It was a complicated thing to do. I'm handy with these type of things, but still, it's just not advisable. I would probably send it to Casio so they can fix the buttons on the GWG 1000 if you get those sticky buttons. I'm not sure how much that will cost, but it is what it is. Of course, this, the design here is a little bit different, and again, the buttons, they're just much softer. I'm not sure whether they will get sticky after time. We'll see. The main difference here is this actual redesigned bezel, also the crown bezel that is used for adjustments and stuff. It's kind of smaller, but at the same time it has a better grip right here with these little slots, as you can see. So this helps with your fingers when you try to catch it and open this. And I believe the cutouts also help a lot right here, these 3 cutouts. So yeah, I mean we see the cutouts throughout all of the buttons. So that's what they decided to use, I guess. As you can see on this actual the face style, I believe all of these ridges and stuff here, this is the actual solar panel for the battery that that gets recharged. That's what it looks like. And to jump into the functions, I'm gonna try to make this kind of fast. Anyway, download the manual if you don't have it, or you should have it in the book when you buy the watch. If you don't, just download it or go online on Casio and just read it from there. And I will just kind of go through the functions kind of quickly. So we'll start first, normal 2 dials, the second hand. And if you want to change this digital screen, you just need to press this upper button, and it'll go through several menus. It seems that these menus are the same as the GWG1000. Then like this is like the second watch. I mean, this is the second timing. It's the same time as what the arrows will show. Then it's the date. And then the next screen is on the left is the barometric measurements. If you leave this like this, then this will keep moving because it will take measurement on the barometric pressure outside. What this means is normally if the measurements are going down, that means that it's going to rain, and if they're going up, it means that it's going to be sunny. That's the basics. And yeah, again, this is the button. Down here is when you start scrolling through the different options of the watch, and if you can see right here, you have barometric measurement, the temperature, the record, ST. I think these are a little bit different than the GWG1000. Yeah, these are just a little bit different. I believe those are the ST and the TR are the times, like the stopwatch times. I guess ST is stopwatch, yeah. And then you have alarm, then you have the world time, and RC is the atomic records keeping. And with the barometric, we are in the first function, and we're already into the function, so it's measuring in this the HPA measurements right there on the upper right corner above the digits. So yeah, HPA, here we go. And if you leave this again, it will just keep measuring. So one thing is, if you want to go to the basic, to the default menu at the beginning, all you have to do is just hold this bottom button where it says mode. Then you hold it, and then it'll blink, and it'll go back to time. And the M on the left side, the letter M means that the battery is charged to medium level. When the watch is charged to high, it'll say H. So that's your main guide where the battery on this watch is. This watch charges pretty quickly. So if you're actually in the sun, it'll get charged within several hours from medium to high. Now, when it gets to low, that will be a different. It will have a different time frame of charging. And I've never had problems with low battery. This watch, just try to keep it here and there, and not directly in the sun, but I guess maybe a little bit here and there. The watch has the capacity to charge even from fluorescent lights and stuff inside. But yeah, try to keep it, on high as much as you can. Medium is fine. Just high would be the best option. So we went to barometric. Okay, mode. Yeah, I believe these. Yeah, the bottom one is the one that we'll try to measure, but it's already measuring. So that would be this as far as this function. And just so I can start actually before getting these menus, which I already did. So sorry, but I forgot to mention that you have the two main functions here on the right side, which is the compass and the altimeter, where it measures, what height you are above the sea level. And the compass is pretty simple. You press it, and the second hand will show you where north is. And in order to get, what you see on the bottom is the direction of the watch. So in order to get to want to see where north is, you're gonna have to twist the watch and kind of get it to the correct position. So this would be, here we go, it'll be like north, it'll be north of 0 degrees right there. One thing to mention, I would advise you to try to get a proper bearing with a proper compass, or maybe something else, or even maybe try to use your phone. Could be a best, another best option also, to compare it with this with this watch and see whether it's accurate, because out of the box it may not be accurate, and I know that for a fact. I've had to adjust this watch. So when you're in the compass and you have to adjust it, the adjustment always happens with this crown. You have to unwind it, and then when it clicks out, you click one more time, and then you click it, and this is how it shows you where it needs to go. Now, I'm not going to get into this menu because I don't remember this, what exactly this was. It says 1, so wait. Yeah, I think the watch, this is the calibration of the watch actually. So that you see it actually moved a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna check it again myself later, but this is the adjustment. I guess I need to get the manual to actually see it. Every time you need to adjust something on this watch, it happens through this crown. When you unwind it and then you click it outside, click the stages to actually get to the adjustment. So again, please check your compass before you can trust the watch. It's just the way these watch are. Don't blame the watch. It's just, there are different things that affect, these watches and even other watches. So just for your reference, compare it before you start using it. And then the altimeter, the same thing. You can actually get online to a map and see at your spot there are maps with height, and they will show you exactly what height you are at the place where you're right now. So you can check this watch as a reference. Again, you press it as I have it in meters, but you can have it in feet, I guess. For me, it's easier in meters, and 354 meters. And I haven't checked this watch myself yet, but again, I will check it if I start using it. And there are maps online, very easy to compare just to see where you are. This is above sea level again. You will see the difference when you start climbing stairs inside buildings and all this stuff. And the one thing about this watch is the altimeter actually it works by using the barometric pressure of the air. That's how the watch calculates what height you are. So I'm not sure if this is the best way of these things to be done, but it is the way this particular watch and the GWG 1000 work with these triple sensors. They use, that's why they're only three sensors, meaning you have the temperature, you have the compass, and the barometric. Those are the three different ones, and they actually are using the barometric, for two different purposes. So again, just to make sure as a reference, check your level to where you are to know that this watch is calibrated to where it's supposed to be. And again, the calibration happens with this bezel. Again, when you open it, the crown, when you open the crown, then you click out and you adjust it in this mode. Okay, going back to this mode, to these normal modes or the additional modes here on the dial. You're gonna go to barometric. We already did that, and the next one is temperature. Okay, the temperature. That one is pretty straightforward. The only other thing that I've realized, I'm not sure. I cannot see where the sensor on this watch is. The GWG has a like a little protector, and then behind, maybe I'm gonna assume it's just somewhere behind here. Again, I haven't looked at the structure of this watch, but I will assume it's behind this place here, behind this protector possibly. And it may be getting some of this external air to see or feel the temperature. And that's how it's giving the reading. But anyway, 32 Celsius. I believe this is a little bit too hot. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Anyway, the also another piece of advice that I've had with these watches and the GWG 1000 and this one, make sure that if you want to get a proper correct reading on the environment where you are, you need to actually let this watch out of your hand. Because if you're measuring the temperature, when it's on your hand, it will pick up the temperature off your hand. This is normal. This is just the way this watch works. I've done it multiple times and I've seen the difference. So a proper reading will require you to get it off your hand and just leave it somewhere. Of course, if you leave it in the sun, it's gonna read a hotter temperature, and probably the normal proper reading should be in in shade, in the shade, preferably if the weather is sunny. As you can see, the temperature is going down because I had the watch, I've been holding the watch, so it probably got a little bit hotter from my hands. Again, you can probably check as a reference to see if it's showing the right temperature. And again, that's the reason why Casio lets you, adjust these things, so that actually they know, where's the proper point of where it's supposed to start measuring. Again, don't blame the watch. This is just the way these gadgets work. And okay, we have the temperature, and then we'll go down to recall. Okay. This recall, I believe this is a measurement system of how the watch collects information. If you leave this, it'll keep timing, and then it'll keep timing as far as how far I believe you've went up and down or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but that's what it was. I remember that it keeps a record of where of how far, and like not far, but how up and down you walk, and the time frame of this. And I guess this is probably for people that are climbers, so that they need to know that if they're fast enough or not. So this is the function on this recall. Again, reading the manual. Just to get a full glimpse. I mean, it's almost like studying a book, unfortunately. So, and next step is the normal. This is a standard watch, or this is like normal standard keeping, which means you press you press on the bottom. So this is like a chronometer. So you measure timing, and then you stop it here, and then you reset it on the top. Then again, you can see in the menu if there's anything crazy with this function. And then the last, not the last, but the next function is the actual timer. Okay, so TR is timer. This is a timer backwards. And basically you just, the button for, doing all of these is this bottom right button. And once you turn it on, it starts going backwards. It's like an alarm, for time that you need to do something. So you can always adjust this. So you stop it, you go back, and you adjust it with this bezel again. All of the adjustments happen through this bezel, and it's a pretty nice bezel. I mean, it's just very soft, very fine. I kind of like it better than the GWG 1000. Definitely, they improved the mechanism here. Is what I can see. Okay, then you need to push in and then turn it in or wind it back in. And where do we go? We go with the next functions here again with the mode is the alarm. So I have the signal off. There's also an hourly signal. I believe this is probably the signal that these watches have. Casio always have had this for many years. That it has a every hour on the 12 o'clock it'll make a sound like a toot toot, like a double beeping alarm. But I have all of these off. I just don't need them. I don't need to use them. And the next one is a very interesting function. This is the world time keeping, and what it is the watch now automatically went to show me what is the time in the time zone of Athens. That's what I've had it set up actually. And again, the way you set this is you pull the bezel out, and very simple, you click out, and the watch will start beeping city. So these are all like right here in the this part of the bezel right here with these 3 letters. These are all the time zones in the world. So right now it's Athens, and then you have Paris, then you have London, and I don't remember what jet is, but you get the point. You can actually turn with this and show what time this watch wants you, what time this watch you need to show. So again, Paris, what is GD, THR. You just need to look in the map of what these cities are. These are capital cities of different countries, and they correspond to a time zone. And here we go, I'm finished, so I'm not gonna mess this anymore. And again, this helps with travels, or when you need to call someone, if you have relatives or other friends in a different place. So it's a very nice function. And then the last function is this RC. That RC is actually the atomic keeping, where the watch receives a signal every night. It tries to get a signal 4 times a night. It starts with 12 a.m., 1, 2, 3, and 4 a.m. And this happens every single night, so that the watch keeps actually an extremely accurate time. And this function here actually is for you to manually try to get the to make the watch receive the signal. And it happens when you're in this function. You press the button, you gotta hold it actually, and then it'll start blinking, and then exclamation mark, and then it'll start showing the satellite. So it'll show L1, and it needs to go I believe at least you need to get a signal of at least 3 satellites to get a proper reading. to calibrate itself. You don't need to do that. Again, I'm repeating, you do not need to do that, because the watch has an automatic function that it itself, the mechanism does that every night. So if we don't get like these three satellites, this watch is not going to get the signal. If you're inside the buildings, most likely you're not going to be able to get these signals. It's because of the way the buildings work and the satellites, outside. You need to be you need to leave your watch close to a window if you're not getting a signal. And again, inside the building, you're gonna have a limited chance. Actually, right now this is like I'm close to the window, but not that close, and the watch is actually getting the signal. I'm really surprised. Maybe I will say that maybe Casio has improved some kind of a function in this watch to do that, because I've seen the other ones, my other watches, and they haven't been able to be that fast. Or also at night, the signal is much better than during the day. And yeah, so this is how it's gonna get the signal. If it doesn't get it, it's gonna show an error. It's gonna show ERR, and don't worry about it. You can just try it another time. And you need to leave, actually, if you are really trying to get the signal, you need to leave the watch alone and not hold it in your hands. Just leave it close to a window. And I'm gonna stop it because we don't need this. And when you press the mode button and hold it, it's gonna show you that it's going back to the normal default screen. And with this time, with the digital time, and then the arrows, and again this arrow went back to its 0 point. So those are the basic functions of this watch. As far as the bezel, again, I made a few more other videos with this. This watch is just amazing. I like this watch much better as far as presentation, and compared to the GWG 1000. And I will show you again what this looks like with the carbon fiber and stuff. Okay. Yeah, these are the carbon fiber pieces. Like all of these here are actual carbon fiber pieces that they molded. And look at, I mean, it's just amazing. I love these colors, and the changing patterns and all this stuff. The only difference that I actually see, because I went online to compare these parts right here, that if you need to change these, compared with the GWG 1000, the 1000 has a whole piece of rubber bezel that just comes off, and with this watch this is not the case. I need to see again, but I believe these pieces come off separately, and they can be replaced once you scratch them or damage them, but they're going to be pricey. I saw that like the bottom part is like $100, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and the top part is like another $100. So be very careful and keep in mind that this is not the case like with the GWG 1000. If you have a GWG 1000, that if you only have this watch and you end up damaging it, you can replace these, but they're going to be pricey. And of course, you're gonna have to do it yourself. Again, yes, very pricey. Where the bezel on the 1000, it's like only $15. But again, this is the one negative thing. It's just the way they did it. So yeah, I want to be honest with you and just give you my observations on these problems. Okay, I'm gonna charge the light a little bit, just to show you what it looks like. And I mean, it's amazing. This is the normal light here. The normal light doesn't really charge these, the green the green parts. So this happens only because of the natural light outside. Again, it's pretty cool. I love it. This is the way this looks like. And the functions, I forgot to mention that the functions on the in order to get to the normal other settings on this watch, when you're in this default mode, you need to open this crown bezel, and then it'll let you it'll show you where you are. And city means that you need to tell the watch where you are right now, which in my case I'm in New York City, or Eastern time zone. Yeah. So this is where it is. So the thin arrow will show you New York City right here, NYC. So if you want to scroll to the different functions on this default, on the default setting, you need to press these buttons. So this is daily savings time auto, and then it's mute on the sounds. Then you have auto off. This is when you want to use your watch. You can make the watch every time you turn your wrist, this light here will actually come on automatically, but I've turned this off. Then the light, this is the length of how long this light, when you press it, how long it stays on. And I have it on the high setting of 3 seconds. You can do, I believe, 1, 2, and 3. Let me see. No, you can actually only do 1 and 3. Okay. And then 12 hours or 24 hours, and power saving on or off, and then the city, back again. Those are like the main settings of the watch. You get them when you pull this, when you're in the normal default screen, then you pull the crown bezel. Okay, I'm gonna put it back in, and we're gonna let the watch work. And this is like a fast kind of a manual on the functions. And again, please follow my advices as far as the different functions, in case you end up not liking something, or realizing that the watch is not showing the proper measurements. You just need to set them sometimes yourself. And I haven't started wearing this watch yet. I'm keeping it still in the box. Not sure if I'm gonna wear it yet. Probably will at some point. I just like my GWG 1000 more. It's been serving me really, really well. And this one is just for my collection, and I still love it. It is what it is. You just take it, and you keep going with this. Maybe this bezel, I see the yellow on the side, so I think maybe this bezel is also replaceable. Most of these parts are replaceable anyway. Just you need to go online and see who has these parts and what they cost, in case you need to replace maybe at least these 4 bezels, because they're the ones that are going to get hit the most when you start wearing this watch. I wouldn't be worried about the crystal. This thing has a highly scratch resistant sapphire crystal, so I've never managed to put a scratch on a sapphire crystal, and I have other watches with these crystals. I'm actually surprised that Casio started using these, because they're expensive to install, and only the expensive watches have them. And again, yeah, this is pretty much the whole deal with this watch. It seems pretty rugged, so it should be okay. It should fit your wrist normally. And yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you enjoy the videos, and I'm gonna try to make a few more videos on these watches. And please like my videos. Thank you for watching. Thanks very much. Please like my videos, and please subscribe. Thank you.